to see this.
When families gather for the holidays, fun activities are often planned to make core memories together. The Jones family decided to go caving at Nutty Putty, but they had no idea of the devastating loss their family would suffer.
Oh no.
This is the fatal breakdown of the Nutty Putty Cave tragedy. John Jones was ready for some family fun when they decided to explore the Nutty Putty Cave in the Utah desert near Salt Lake City.
What?
He had not been to this particular cave before, but he and his brother Josh had spent much of their youth caving in a variety of Utah caves.
Oh shit.
He considered himself to be an experienced caver, though his exploring had slowed down in recent years. He had gotten married, had a child, and was currently a medical student at University of Virginia. This made for a busy regular schedule, which left little time for cave exploring. During the Thanksgiving break, he was returning home to relax with family for the holiday. They planned a day of hiking and exploring at Nutty Putty, which is considered a beginner's cave by most. The main areas of the cave were interesting for everyone. There was the maze room, which had openings and tunnels leading around large boulders. There was a large ramped area called the slide, where the entire room sloped down at a 45-degree angle with a rope to guide you down. This cave system was well mapped in most of the traversable areas. There were also well-known areas that were more challenging, like the birth canal or the aorta crawl.
What?
These areas were tight and difficult to pass, so only more experienced cavers would be
Oh,
attempting
dude,
to
I have
squeeze through these passages.
I could not do
Even
this
with
shit.
the known challenges, people still found themselves stuck in tight squeezes in these tunnels. Nutty Putty had just recently been opened back up to the public, after being closed for several years because of cavers getting stuck in these difficult squeezes.
Oh,
They were
what?
passable for some, but others would find that their shoulders or hips would just not pass, no matter how hard they pulled against the rock.
Oh my god.
After wedging themselves in the narrow space, they were completely stuck, requiring serious assistance to inch out backwards. Because of these rescues, a new permit-style entry was required, listing 2 experienced cavers per group. Josh had obtained a permit for a group to explore the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, November 24, 2009.
Okay.
John's pregnant wife Emily stayed back at the house with their 1-year-old daughter Lizzie
Oh.
to enjoy a more relaxing evening with the in-laws. Their group of 11 family and friends started off in the main open cave sections. Eventually, John and his brother Josh took 2 friends off to find more challenging tunnels to try. They had heard stories about the birth canal and consulted the map for its location. It was known to be a long, tight passage with a particularly tight squeeze near the end.
Holy shit.
If you could just get past the narrowest part, there would be a small room at the end to stand up and turn around. They knew that the birth canal would be tight and could be panic-inducing, even for experienced
Oh,
cavers.
my anxiety
They
is just
spread
kicking
out to
in.
try to find this particular tunnel. John and Josh took the passage on the left, moving through a small tunnel
Okay.
for around 15 feet. It undulated up and down in several
Mhm.
elevations over the next 10 feet. There were outcroppings of rocks and tight squeezes that required a caver to twist their body in several orientations to get shoulders past, then hips, and finally twisting legs so that they bend in the proper direction. It was not a matter of simply pulling your body forcefully through a tight hole.
No, you have to
This
like
area was called the Corkscrew because the few who had been through it were small and flexible, using all their skills to maneuver slowly through the panic-inducing contortions. After the Corkscrew area, the passage angles up for another 5 feet or so, then turns down over a rock ledge with a sharp 90-degree bend to the left.
Man, which way is
Up
this
until
gotta
now,
go this way?
cavers had used this small area after the Corkscrew to turn back on themselves if needed, and head back through the difficult section.
It's way this way.
5
love it.
years before, a 16-year-old boy named Brock Clark was stuck in this Corkscrew section. He was only 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds, but got wedged when he was trying to turn around. It took 14 hours for rescuers to free him. John was in the exact spot where Brock got stuck trying to turn around. Since John was 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, he clearly knew that turning around in this part of the tunnel was not an option for him. He was in a 12-inch high space, with not enough lateral area for his pressed body to ball up for a turn.
Oh my
He
god.
pushed forward to the ledge area and squeezed over the top of it. It was a tight area to get through, but he thought he could see it open up down below. He sucked in his stomach and pressed himself through the squeeze, pulling forward on the rocks in front of him. He would be moving headfirst in a downwards angle
Oh
now,
my, I
and
can't.
it looked
How?
like there was an area ahead to turn around.
The thing is, I've lived in Utah for like 2-3 years, and it's beautiful. If you love rural and exploration mountains, things like that. It's amazing for that. But I personally was not a huge fan. I'm not like big nature. I'm a city boy. I like electricity and all that stuff, you know. So I wasn't really huge into nature. So I ended up coming back to Vegas, also for other reasons. But damn, I can't imagine the people who do this shit for fun. That's so panic inducing.
John didn't know it, but no one else had ever crossed over this ledge before. He was in completely uncharted territory. Despite being in an extremely tight and uncomfortable position, John kept his cool. He was certain that there would be an opening ahead. All along, he thought he was in some part of the birth canal, where many cavers had felt stuck in the constricting tunnel, but ended up being just fine once they reached the other side.
But
Once
he
he
wasn't.
passed through a tight zone, he started to slide toward the bottom of this tunnel.
And there's nothing
He was
there.
nearly doing a handstand, trying to hold his body up and figure out how to push backwards. He still couldn't turn, and now he was upside down. Gravity was pulling his 200-pound body against the fading strength of his arms. He yelled out to his brother Josh and told him not to follow him, but to go back out. They discussed his options and decided that moving forward to try to turn around was the best idea. He was collapsing onto his shoulders and head at this point, and needed to make a move to get out of this vertical position. His headlamp gave him a glimpse of a hole in the floor ahead, which might lead to a larger space. He felt a little more hopeful now, thinking that they would be laughing about this misadventure over Thanksgiving dinner. He made the slight turn and headed towards the hole.
Please put your feet in the hole.
Exactly how he got himself into this tunnel hole is unknown. It's thought that he may have slipped, hit his head, and became wedged in the tight space. The other thought was that he looked in the hole, but misjudged what he saw, thinking it was an opening and not simply a dead-end fissure.
Oh my god.
Either way, John had ended up in a small opening in the bottom of this tunnel, which
And
was
he's-
impossibly narrow.
And he's head
Just
down.
18 inches by 10 inches, not much bigger than the screen of a laptop computer. John found himself wedged nearly completely upside down at a 70-degree angle.
Oh my god.
He had spent some time trying to push himself back upwards out of this hole. It was exhausting. His arms were pinned in a useless position, one folded under his chest, and the other trapped on a rock down by his side. He strained against the walls and quickly realized that all of his effort would not move him back up 5 feet to the shallow tunnel. His calves and feet were still free up in the passage, but his legs were now wedged on the smallest side of the hole, only 8 inches wide. He started yelling for Josh again. His brother knew that he was trying to turn around, so his yells were not a good sign. Josh made his way back into this tight space and traversed the corkscrew path. But unlike his brother, he went feet first this time. He continued toward the sound of John's voice, up over the ledge. He finally came to an alarming sight. He could see the end of his brother's legs sticking out of the rock, as if it had swallowed him whole. He inched forward until his feet could squeeze one of John's legs. He tried to grip and pull up, while John pushed from his end. After several futile attempts, they were both feeling
can't.
exhausted and frustrated.
Oh my god.
Josh could see that this was very serious, and they would need professional help to get him out. They agreed that Josh should go get help, and John should try, as much as possible, to stay calm and relaxed. While Josh went for help, one of the other family friends went into the area to speak to John and let him know that he wasn't alone. For several hours, John just remained trapped upside down, focused mostly on the chore of breathing. The fissure squeezed his chest, where only shallow breaths were possible.
Oh.
All of his efforts to move up had actually settled him deeper into the crack. As time went on, gravity continued to pull him against the rough walls of the tunnel,
No.
tightening its grip on his exhausted body. Once help had arrived, the first cave rescuer, Susie Matola, made her way to where John was stuck. It was now 12:30 in the morning, and John had been upside down for 3 hours. Susie was just 5 feet 3 inches tall, so working her way through the corkscrew area was much easier for her. Ropes had been tied to her ankles as a precaution in case she got stuck as well. She checked on how John was doing and let him know that they'd be getting him out. He must have had a small wave of relief, thinking that professional help had arrived and he would soon be free of this trap. Susie tied webbing straps around his legs and then fed it back to the pit where the tunnel started. Several attempts were made to pull on the ropes to leverage John back up and out of the fissure. There was just too much friction on the ropes to make any effective release on John. He was still pinned, without the use of his arms to fully assist. After attempting a few things and considering many aggressive options, The decision was made to enlist a pulley system in order to help lift John up and out. A pulley had been successfully used when Brock Clark was stuck 5 years before. Even though they had a plan of how to help, this was not an easy location to work in. Each piece of equipment would need to be brought in from the entrance,
Yeah,
which
into
took
the
nearly
tunnel.
an hour to reach the other side of Corkscrew.
Holy
The
shit.
tunnel was extremely tight, and only smaller power tools could be carried in and out. Only one person could be in there to assist at a time, and they would need to be small or wiry to effectively move through the passage. It was just not an ideal situation. Each pulley took an extraordinary amount of time to install. During this time, cavers were trying to talk with John, console him, and share stories to keep him calm and talking. He was
Hi,
a devout
Karik.
man
Thank you
and
for
spent
the
time
for the
praying and
follow.
singing to seek solace
We're
in this
just
unreal
watching a
situation.
video on a caving incident,
John
and
had
my
spent the night
anxiety's
upside
going
down
through the
and
roof.
was showing signs of the physical limitations
Happy
of the body to
Thanksgiving.
withstand this position.
Oh
The
my
human
God.
body was not made to be upside
We
down.
still
for
gotta hang
long.
this curtain
The
before
entire circulatory
it
system
gets
is
to it.
designed using pulses of pressure from the heart
Oh
to
my
move blood
God.
forward through the system, while valves and fibrous vessels would hold blood and stop it from going backwards. This one-way flow balances pressure, gravity, and valves
This
to
is
keep
so
oxygen
insane.
available to all tissues and to remove toxins from
The people who go caving on purpose. Oh. Yeah, thank you, but I'm not from the turkey part of this world. Well, happy November. Wait, depends. If you're not from this part of the world, you're at least 12 hours away, which is 2 a.m. So happy 24th of November. I prefer chicken. Oh, wait, the Canadians don't celebrate Thanksgiving, do they? Canada. Or anywhere here. From Poland? God, nice. It's the 24th over there, right? Like 12 hours. Poland's at least 14 hours ahead from here. At least. I don't remember exactly Poland. I know UK is 12 hours from me. Thailand is 14 hours from here. No, Thailand is 15 hours from here. And Poland should be 14. Yes, it is. Get out, baby. Oh my God, but I don't understand. I mean, I was gonna say I love nature. I don't love nature. I've lived where this took place. Oh my God. The Satch tea no more. Oh, the Statch no more. Oh my God. Oh, this just gives me so much anxiety to think about. Oh my, this dude is stuck in a cave, right? So he was thinking he was going through like the tightest area in there called the birth canal. He ended up going through a different path. Oh, mea culpa. I'm after some drinks. Hey, no problem. Have a good one, man. Relax, enjoy. Take a sip for me, because I still got to do some driving in a bit. So I can't party hard. But I also got to hang some blinds. So we'll figure that out. Your fingers are too fast. That's good. That's good dexterity. You know, got to get your finger push-ups in there. Hoop, 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 hoop. You know, got to make them nice and strong. Oh,
from the body through the kidneys.
Jesus Christ.
John's body had been fighting gravity for more than 12 hours. The brain was not built to withstand this kind of fluid pressure. Fluids were building up in his lungs, and toxins were starting to accumulate from the lack of proper circulation. His organs were pressing on his lungs.
Oh,
and
this
each
is just
breath
getting
was
worse.
an exhausting effort for muscles not built for such work. His breathing was slowing, and he was completely spent from the effort. Throughout the night, he had gone from being completely calm and lucid to helplessly thrashing his legs and hallucinating. It was excruciating to watch for the rescuers. They were helpless, exhausted, and feeling trapped themselves. The air in this cave system was warm and damp. It took a concerted effort to remain calmly breathing when you are restricted and can't move or even breathe properly. But the rescuers knew they could go out when needed. John didn't have that luxury. He couldn't expand his chest to breathe, and the air around him was losing its oxygen concentration little by little. During this time, a wired telecom
That was
system
painful
was
to
brought down
watch.
to where John was stuck. His wife spoke with him,
That was literally
encouraging him to hang
painful.
on and be faithful. John assured her that he would be out with her soon. It wasn't until 4 o'clock that day that they finally got the pulleys in place to move him. Ryan Schertz was in the tunnel when the system was ready
I'm
to try.
afraid of small spaces. Yeah, they give me anxiety. Like, oh my God, like not claustrophobic. No, like I get anxiety. like being squeezed like that or like being stuck. It's not just like claustrophobia. Like I can be inside of a cardboard box, but I can escape a cardboard box. But like being stuck, like oh my god, that really really oh, it makes me like anxious.
John's body had settled into the narrow side of the opening, so Ryan had to push his legs over as the team pulled from outside. Each heave moved him inch by inch up out of the hole. By this time, John's legs were in excruciating pain. A rope had been tied around his legs for hours as rescuers tried various methods to help him out. They were completely blue and had no discernible pulse, yet each tug had him call out to stop as his nerves were ultra-sensitive at this point. They paused to give him a moment to gather himself, and then tried again. It seemed to be working. John was finally being pulled up out of this hole. He was raised enough for Ryan to look down to make actual eye contact with him, and passed down a tube to drink Gatorade. This effort was extremely slow going, and they were all exhausted from the difficult effort. Ryan was squeezed in a tunnel just 12 inches high, and had his head near John's legs as they worked him slowly out of the tight 10-inch fissure. Although they were making some progress in lifting him up, they were no closer to getting him out. His legs were hitting the low ceiling above his tunnel, and twisting them into the passage was impossible.
Oh no.
He had no control over his legs now, after 19 hours upside down. Without his help to delicately bend his knees to the side, they were strongly considering breaking his legs to get him back into the passage. Because
too many squats. Yeah. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If that was me, I would have just said break him, bro. I would have said break my thigh. I would have said break my thigh and then just get me the fuck out of here. I was like, make my leg bend the way whatever you gotta bend it, bro, and get me the fuck out of here. Oh my god. My ass is flat, but this is not just the ass. It's that his legs are, like flailing up and down, but like he's been stuck for like 13 hours, so he can't even control them. So he can't like bend and get out of there. So now his feet are hitting the roof of the cave. So now he's got to try to bend this way and come out, but he can't. So either you pull those bitches out. That's how they're thinking about breaking his leg. My ass is flat. I think mine is too. I think I got a flat butt. But we're about to go see when I put these blinds. You can see for yourself. Why do I give myself anxiety before I'm gonna go do something stupid like stand on a desk and hang blinds?
Then, in a sudden moment of blinding pain, Ryan blacked out. When he came to, he was bleeding heavily and confused. The rope, holding the pulley to a natural arch section in the cave, broke and whipped the carabiner and pulley directly into Ryan's face.
It broke.
He suffered damage to his face,
lip
and tongue, as well as a concussion. He had to get out of there quickly. John was back where he started, completely wedged in the tunnel with the circulation to his arms cut off and his legs completely dead. He was unable to help free himself in any way. This moment started the final demise of John Jones. After Ryan was checked out in the pit and then sent off to the hospital, his father Dave took his place in the passage with John. It took an hour to reestablish the pulley lines, and Dave tried to tie a rope around
you gotta
John's
rock
body,
it, man. You gotta be
but
proud.
couldn't get the rope past his wedged torso. All the time Dave was with John, he was not responsive.
Because that's one thing you can't help. It's like me, I'm short.
John's help to effectively rescue
There's
him.
nothing I can do
There was
about
no
that.
way to lift his
I will
200
always
pound,
be
6
like
foot frame
5 feet
without
tall.
him pushing and trying to leverage himself in some way. In Dave's effort to tie up John, he got himself stuck for about 15 minutes. Their desperate effort to help save
bald
this man had put both his son and himself in danger.
I'm sure you're bigger than
It was
me,
a
bro.
devastating
I'm
reality.
like 5 feet tall.
Once he had pushed himself back into the 12-inch tunnel, he was exhausted and had to leave. Brandon
you gotta have the Chad good
brought in the
looks.
telecom system
Me, I'm just
so
short.
John's family could talk to him.
And I have long
His
hair.
wife Emily expressed her love
5'7"
and told him to take a break and rest after all of his effort.
I wish I was 5'7", 171 centimeters. I wish. That'd be like, my head would be like to here. Like literally like here. Like I would be like, I would have to move my camera. Or do you think my legs would just be 2 inches longer? That's something I've noticed. Some people have like long legs, mostly like the women I've seen. And like we have like short torsos and like half-size legs. I don't know. That's a weird observation of mine. So I wonder if I was taller, would I have longer legs, or would my waist be taller? That's weird. Okay,
She still truly
short
believed he would
legs.
become.
Yeah, it's just it's part of like I think being like a male. Because like I've literally like compared. I have a torso of a higher person. Yeah, me too. I have like average sized legs. But I think the taller you get, maybe the taller. Wait, how do those Olympic runners have such big legs then? My best buddy has the same torso as he's. Jesus. That's crazy. That makes no sense. Aren't human bodies so weird? So crazy.
Coming out, but Brandon could see what she could not. John was no longer responsive, and no signs of life could be heard. Over the previous several hours, Ryan reported the gurgling breaths that John was struggling with. Now, there was silence. The rescue team gathered in the pit area inside the cave and discussed the situation. It was determined that a medical professional would need to confirm that he had actually passed. A paramedic was sent into the tight section to confirm what was suspected. At 11:56 on Wednesday, November 25th, John Jones was pronounced dead. The rescue teams worked for 24 hours straight to try to free John, but it was just not possible with his upside-down position. The clock was ticking, and he just ran out of time. John survived an extraordinary 27 hours in an inverted position, which is 3 times longer than what was predicted as possible. The 6 rescue personnel who actually reached John in that rocky prison were truly heroic. They willfully placed themselves in
Oh my God, Carrick!
known risks.
Thank
They
you
were
for the
selfless in their
5
efforts,
gifted subs.
maintained a
Holy
calm
shit,
demeanor,
that's
and
huge.
never gave up on a
Oh my
seemingly
God, I
impossible
appreciate it.
rescue.
Oh my God, thank you
After
so
they
much.
determined that recovering the body would be impossible,
Oh my God, that's
John
so
was left to
huge.
rest in the Ed's push section
And
of
I'm
the
smiling
Nutty
at this
Putty
sad
for
moment.
eternity. The entire cave system was closed off with concrete, never to be explored again. A plaque was placed there to commemorate the life of
closed
John
this?
Jones.
Huge, bigger than us. Oh my God. Dude. I have so many mixed emotions. Thank you so much for the fat drop. Oh my God. This was insane. My anxiety is through the roof. Oh. Oh my God. And you know what's really sad? Is that if you look
He
at the
was nearly
map
doing a
right
handstand,
here,
trying to hold his body. He passed through a tight.
if he didn't go down at the bottom of that pit, he could have been pulled down. Life is so insane. Uh, uh, oh my God. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I watch these things? I don't know. That was interesting though. Oh, nah, he couldn't. Well, the thing is, he kept going. So, like, let's see. Oh, you weren't here for the beginning of it. Let's go through it. We'll go through it real quick. Where is the thing? Here we go. Da, 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 da.
Once he passed through a tight zone.
Yeah, because he kept
started to
going. It was
slide.
a one-way road. Yeah, but the thing is, he went through this tunnel right here. He went in the hole. If he would have just stopped and didn't go inside the pit, they could have pulled him out slowly with the pulleys and stuff. But the big problem is he went inside here and was stuck with his feet in the air, and he was upside down.
Toward the bottom of this tunnel. He was nearly doing a handstand.
And see, he went into this hole right here.
How to push backwards. He still couldn't turn, and now he was upside down. Gravity was pulling his 200-pound body against the fading strength of his arms.
Would you
He
ever
yelled
do
out to his
this?
brother Josh and told him not to
Would
follow,
you ever do this,
but to
Carrie?
go back out.
I would
He
never
discussed his options
go
and
inside a
decided
cave
that
like
moving
this.
forward to try to turn around was the best idea. He was collapsing onto his shoulders and head at this point, and needed to make a move to get out of this vertical position.
Oh my God.
His headlamp gave him a glimpse of a hole in
See?
the floor ahead.
So this is where he saw the hole in the floor. It was like 18 inches wide, like the size of a laptop. That's... I can't. My anxiety goes so insane.
which might lead to a larger space.
That was the problem. He thought it was gonna go to a larger opening. Ah. Uh.